Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to give you my thoughts on the new Macs that were released with the new Apple M1 chip recently from the perspective of a visual content creator, someone who does graphic design, edits photos and videos on a daily basis. First of all, a disclaimer, I don't actually have the product, so this is not a review, although I am actually thinking of getting the new Mac Mini to do some graphic design work, and if I do, I will definitely create a full detailed review for you guys. Now, this video is going to focus on the Mac Mini because that's something that I'm planning to buy. And this video is applicable if you want to buy the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro 13-inch as well, because they are all using the same M1 chip. So I'm going to talk about my concerns when it comes to buying these new Macs. Let's take a look at their website. By the way, this video is going to be just me checking out their website, talking about the features, talking about pricing, and pointing at things. So the new Mac Mini starts at $699 US. So they have this new M1 chip, which is supposed to give you up to 3 times better CPU performance and 6 times better graphics performance compared to the previous generation, which is the 2018 or the 2020 model. That's all you need to know. Basically, it's a faster computer compared to the previous model. So currently they are selling 2 models. They have almost similar specs except for the higher price model, which is $899 US. That comes with 512 gigs of storage. Both models come with 8 gigs of RAM, which is so-called unified because it's soldered onto the chip. So 8 gigs of RAM, is that going to be enough? I don't really think so, because right now I'm using Adobe Lightroom and Final Cut most of the time. And with just these 2 apps and occasional web browsing, I'm already using more than 20 gigs of RAM. So 8 gigs, chances are not enough. So you can upgrade the RAM to a total of 16. That's the limit right now. I'm very sure Apple is going to increase the limit into the future because this is new RAM that they have to build together with the chip. So it's limited right now. And to get 16 gigs of RAM, you have to pay an extra $200. So price gouging is nothing new from Apple. 256 gigs of storage for the base model for graphic design work is not sufficient, and you are not going to be getting 256 gigs because after formatting you will get 238, and after Mac OS and installing Adobe apps you are probably going to get around 200 gigs of storage. So not enough. Upgrading that to the 512 gigs SSD is $200 more. Look, for graphic designers, for visual content creators, we have come to the realization that we have to use external drives because they are definitely more worth the money compared to spending $200 to upgrade the storage with Apple. So take, for example, this Samsung T5 drive with 1 terabyte of storage. This is just US $139. This is actually the older model, the T5. The newer model is the T7 with better read speed. So with the T5, it can read up to 540 megabytes. Now this read speed is suitable for video editing work if you are dealing with 4K 25 to 30 FPS videos. If you are working with 4K 60 FPS, definitely go with the Samsung T7, which is more expensive but still more worth the money compared to upgrading storage with Apple. So I'm actually not too concerned about the storage here, more concerned about the memory, and that's it. There's nothing else you can configure. Another area of concern is whether or not you are going to get any performance hit when you are using graphic design software such as those from Adobe, because those apps, those were written for Intel Macs, and now all those apps, they have to run through Rosetta 2 on the M1 Macs. So hopefully the new chip will be able to offset the performance hit with those software before they can be updated. There are less ports now, so instead of 4 Thunderbolt ports, now you only have 2. So one will be going to the USB-C or Thunderbolt monitor. The other one, chances are, you will be going to the Thunderbolt 3 dock. And there's HDMI 2.0. Now the thing with Macs is sometimes when you use the HDMI port, it can only output 4K 30 Hz. So I'm not sure if this Mac Mini whether or not it can actually output 4K 60 Hz with this HDMI port. If it's not able to do that, then you will definitely have to use the Thunderbolt port for 4K 60 Hz. There are 2 USB Type-A ports here, no SD card reader, and this is the Ethernet port, which you can no longer configure, so that's a gigabit Ethernet port. By the way, I'm actually using a Mac Mini right now, the 2018 model, for my graphic design work and video editing. I also have this Thunderbolt 3 hub that is connected to the Mac Mini. So Thunderbolt 3 hubs like this are made more essential now since Apple has removed 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. So this allows me to read my SD card and gives me like a lot more ports. Let's talk about backup. So with the base model, which only has 256 gigs of storage, if you want to back up that Mac and all the data within it, if you get Apple's iCloud, the 200 gigs plan, which is US $3 per month, that is not enough for you to back up the whole Mac. So again, I highly recommend you get an external SSD. Even if you get an external SSD like the Samsung T5 or the T7, you will still need to back up your data. I mean, if you value your data, your files, you should back up your files. So you still, I shouldn't force this upon you, of course. I highly recommend you still have some sort of backup plan. So personally for me, I'm using the Microsoft Office 365. This is subscription based, so for 1 year of Office 365, it's US $70, which is about less than $6 per month. And this is really worth it because you get to store all your files online. You can also use this to back up your Mac, because it has 1 terabyte of storage, you can back up your Mac completely. In the event that your Mac crashes, all your files will still be stored online, so you will not lose any files. This is really fantastic in terms of value for money. If you don't like subscription-based services, maybe you can just buy like 2 of this, one for your files and one for backup. Personally, I'm using external storage, external SSD, and I have the Office 365 to back up the Mac as well as the external storage. So this is really very valuable to me. You do have to factor in spending extra money for the external storage for the different accessories, like if you're going with the Mac Mini, the keyboard is not included, the mouse is not included, and chances are you will need to buy a Thunderbolt 3 port because it's just so useful. See this USB hub that I have here, this is USB-C. So I use this with the Mac Mini, and when I connected my Western Digital 3.5-inch drive that I use as a time machine backup to this, it wasn't able to connect properly, and when I connected a SSD drive to this, that SSD drive just keeps disconnecting for don't know what reason, and the file transfer speed for the micro SD card or the SD card drive here, it's slow. So even though this looks pretty high quality, it's not performing up to my expectations. So in the end, I had to spend the extra $200 to get the Thunderbolt 3 hub. So that is something you do have to keep in mind, having to spend extra money to buy extra accessories. But the good thing is all those accessories you can continue to use into the future, and if you upgrade your computer, you can still continue to use all those accessories. So those would be money well spent. Alright, so those are my thoughts on the new Macs with the M1 chip. So if I do get the new Mac Mini, I'll definitely let you guys know how well it performs when it comes to visual content creation, graphic design. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.